Number one, what can developers do to help Partiko, and then what can regular users do to help Partiko grow? Yeah, let's take those two at the same time. So regular users, what can they do to help Partiko? And then developers, what can they do?
Wow, I mean, seeing the question itself already makes me, is already makes me feel, warms my heart really, because people are actually wanting to help Particle, and I think for developers, I mean, definitely talk to us directly. We can figure something out because right now, Particle, as you know, a lot of you already know, is not open source yet. So we think that adds a lot of extra overhead for management because we're trying to prioritize feature development so that we don't have the bandwidth to manage the open source stuff. So if someone wants to contribute to us, that by default will add some extra management overhead us, right?
I get it.
We have to make sure the quality is high, things like that. So definitely talk to us because we might have to see what's the best way we can work together. So that I think that's the best advice I can give to developers. And for regular users, I think there's a couple of ways, but basically tell people about it. So I think that's the best thing we can hope for. Which I think already a lot of users are already doing. Like they're telling their friends about it, and they're telling their fellow Steamians about it. I think that's already great. So follow us. Get the most updated information from us, and tell people about it. I think that's already very, very good. So yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Specs Thinker. He asks, any tips for future grads to build an app based on the Steam blockchain? So he's talking about if he's starting out, how did you how did you start building on Steam? That first step.
That's interesting because I was on the radio show of I forgot the name. I was on the radio show of PAL, Peace, Abundance, and Liberty.
Yeah.
And Pensive asked me the same question. So basically, how did you start building this app? So I think it's not about that I want to build an app that's not because I want to build an app that I started to build it. It's because I want to solve a problem. So I think the idea of solving people's problem and because we want to make Particle a business, right? Particle wants to make money so that it can make even better products. So, but by the end of the day, you have to solve people's problems. You have to add values to people's life, and that's how you make businesses. So
right.
Yeah. So that's the core idea behind Particle. The app is just a tool. It's the way we convey the value, and I can still give a little more specific advices because I'm the first, what do you call it? The native citizen of the mobile revolution, right?
Right.
I got my first phone in 2010, which is just when the mobile revolution got started, because the App Store got launched in 2008, right? That's
right.
And that opens the whole category of job. It started a new type of software engineer position, which is mobile development.
Right.
And I was right there at the beginning. I've been doing Android development for 8 years, but still, interesting enough, nowadays a lot of the big or small companies, they're still lacking the resource to build good mobile applications. So I think if you want to do something, it's never too late. I mean, as long as you pick the right technology, you don't wanna pick Flash like in 2010. I'm not sure if you heard about Flash. You don't wanna pick the dying technologies, right? I mean,
Right.
but mobile is definitely not the dying technology.
That's
for sure.
the growing. That's the one to be in.
Yeah, because
All the unbanked people use their phones.
exactly. So
That's the
we're
future.
we have just reached that point. Like maybe 2 years ago,
Yeah.
like the whole mobile market is like still growing like crazy because it's not secure. It was not secure yet. Like a lot of people still don't have their mobile devices, but now basically everybody has their own mobile devices. Like Partiko's largest user base is in India, US, and Indonesia because which two of them are not like highly developed countries. So
Right.
but they all have their mobile devices. So that's the place to be. And
yeah, I agree with you totally, 100%. Yep.
And you don't have to think too much about this choice. I think this is a good choice. And if you want to learn stuff, there's more than abundant material online. I was watching the Google I/O keynote back in the days. I was watching Udacity.com. It's a very good. They have a lot of materials, and Udemy, Coursera. There's a ton of materials you can look at. So yeah. So if you want to do something, I think
Last questions coming from me. I want to know what features that you're thinking about designing that would solve an organic discoverability for content in the Steam blockchain. What do you have in mind for discoverability of new content that is really hidden from the bidbot? I call it the promoted page is really in the wrong spot. All the bidbot stuff needs to be in the promoted tab, and then the organic page needs to be like, hey, what are people reading on their own every day? Like, what are they engaging with? That's a perfect world for me. What do you have in mind?
I think it's only possible to build a good solution, but it's not possible to build a perfect solution because whatever system you come up with, people will always find a way to game that system. But but basically, the idea, I mean, the solution is already out there because just to take a look at those existing social apps, right? They have all their solutions because they're all about, say, Twitter, YouTube, or even Facebook. They're all about giving you exactly what you want. That's how they keep you within their own ecosystem,
Hooked.
Right? They're really good at that. So basically, we're just taking lessons from them.
Okay.
We have done a lot of user research on those apps,
okay.
And basically what you do is you take people's input, right? Because a lot of people upvote, people comment, and the data is all public. So you can use those information to be able to figure out what topics or what kind of articles they might be interested in, and that's how you can build a customized feed, right? And that's even the more I would say the advanced solution. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to start from that, right? You can start even more simpler because you can let people pick and choose their own. One easy little step you can do is you can let people organize their tag preferences, right?
Oh,
and,
right.
that already solves a lot of problems. Because I want to read Partiko tag and the CN tag. I'm a Chinese, and I probably also want to read some other tags. So I can prioritize those tags. So that already makes my life a lot easier. And
right. So you would have a feed that's like my prioritized tags. So when you open that tab, then you'll see all those prioritized tags. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, all the stuff you care about.
Yes.
And,
okay.
And even more, cool. We can allow you to see different content every time you open the tab, and that's again a very classic solution. Every time you refresh the page, you can see something different.
Oh,
that helps you discover more content because you're not like on your feed page. I mean, feed page is probably the most valuable page right now because those are the people
yeah.
we care about. But every time you refresh, you're seeing the same stuff. So I think
Yes, yes.
in order to solve the discoverability problem, you gotta offer them more content. If they're not interested, they scroll down to the bottom, they load more, or they refresh, they see something different.
I
I think
like
that
that. I like
yeah,
that.
that's something we are already building, and hopefully we can add that to the next release of Android and
Oh
iOS.
my God, that's gonna be a big day for me. Oh
Already.
shoot.
So you'll be able to. So the content will, you'll still see some content from the trending page, but you will see a lot of other contents from the different other places. So and every time you refresh, it will be new content. So we hope that will work out well, so that I mean, we're definitely gonna test ourselves, and we're only going to ship, something we are proud
Proud
of.
of, right. Oh,
So
awesome. Now, what kind of algorithm do you have experience building algorithms as well, like search stuff?
Um,
Or
search, not so much
or
because
I
search,
mean these
like,
user preference algorithms, like what are you
well,
using?
that's actually
Not
not
hard?
hard to build because it's just some conditions like you add to the query. So it's not that crazy to build. But I think it's when you add more features, when you allow like more customization, where the things start to become harder. But
Okay.
those are like all kind of like pretty standard software engineering questions. So yeah. So
So that's not too bad. Good. I'm glad. I'm
um,
so glad to hear that there's something. I'm really excited about that option of having a feed where I choose the tags and then it changes though. That's
oh yeah,
exciting.
oh
Because
yeah, oh
part of being human is liking the element of surprise. This
yeah,
is
oh yeah,
what a
oh
lot
yeah.
of people don't understand, that is like
Exactly.
you can't have
That's a
the
good point.
same
Yeah.
feed all the time. It gets boring. We like surprise, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Mysteries and stuff. Okay, do you have any last thoughts about anything that we've discussed or anything you want to add? Because I feel like
So
I've asked all the questions today. I'm really happy about this. Thank you.
awesome. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, I just wanted to. I mean, at the end, I want to say, it's really happy to meet you, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and yeah, just I also appreciate all the questions. I think some of the users, I think. I think Steam Flow gives us a lot of suggestions. Like he's like
Steam
full of
Flow.
and, like
Yeah, Steam Flow
many
is.
suggestions, many great suggestions by the way, and a lot of other users as well. They it's really our users who are helping us grow. Like I mean, to be honest, when you're building something new, and not everybody understand because Partiko is trying to raise funds, and sometimes we reach to the investors and they have no idea what we're talking about. They have no idea what this is, and sometimes you get frustrated, but you look at our users, there's something valuable. So I really wanted to appreciate all the community, all the users who are being supportive, and that means a lot to us. So
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you actually for reigniting my interest in Steam, because I really had kind of lost in the last like 5 months. I went looking because I really feel like I am like an investor of time. So, you know how people talk about investors, they like to spread out the risk. Well, I'm an investor of my time and energy and output, like creative output, social output. And so I like to spread out my risk, because I was just in Steam and then I suddenly woke up one day and I thought, "Oh crap, what if there's another one that really, like, what if I get MySpaced?" And then I'll just feel so stupid about being
oh
in
yeah,
a myopic. I feel like a lot of people on Steam are like this. They think, "Oh, this is the best thing in the world." They can't see the problems to solve. You're obviously what we needed. Your kind of person is like seeing a problem, solving it. Like we need more people like that. But like I like to spread out risk. So, but when I found your app, I'm like, oh, I could get behind this because this is actually like, this is a good quality app that solves my problems. That's when I was realizing maybe I need to keep looking and digging, and like maybe the solutions exist. We just need to expand on those and get those out. That's kind of
Yeah.
what that really helped. I mean, I got to thank you because I was like not happy at all. I was like ready to like just trash it.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm glad, we have something, you know, we have something in common that we all believe. So back in April and May, I was thinking about whether I wanna like reveal my identity, right? Whether I wanna let people know who I am, and I made a decision that I wanted to do that because that adds more credibility and
Yes.
so and I'm just more comfortable being honest. So that's just me as a person. So yeah, I really enjoy that. So I'm glad people can all receive that. So that's great. So
Okay. Well, have a great day. Thank you so much for being on, and I'll get this video uploaded pretty fast.
to the public.
Steve Jobs brought the mouse to the public.
Yes. Yeah, it's Steve Jobs who taught people how to use mouse,
Wow.
not Xerox. So I think someone has to solve the usability problem, and it's not it's not like Steam's fault that they're not doing it right. I mean, maybe it's just hard for them. Maybe they don't have the resource. I don't know, but
Right.
I think
Right.
the coolest thing about innovation is you don't have to ask. You can just go to
Yes.
easy problem because like a lot of people in the blockchain space, they will tell you to go build another blockchain. I mean, that's definitely possible. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not possible. It's very hard. It's a very hard problem because
Yes.
you know the tolerance for mistake is so low, right? Because
Right.
you're dealing with people's money. So
Right.
building a blockchain is definitely a very very technical, challenging, and the only way you can prove that this is a working blockchain is through time, right?
Yeah.
The longer you have existed, the more secure you are. You can't just like tell people your code is more secure. Like it's been audited.
Right.
That doesn't work at all. It can only be proved by time. So that's
Exactly.
why no matter what people say, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're like even Litecoin, they're still the most secure ones because they have existed for a very long time and
Right.
it's been stable. It's nothing
Right.
terrible
So-
happened. I think so is Steam, right? Steam
So basically you came back because you're like, hey, Steam is still in existence. It still works. It's a functioning blockchain. It's secure
Yeah.
because people are using it. Is
Yeah,
that kind of why
I
you
mean,
came back?
that by itself adds a lot of credibility. It's just like cryptography. So
Yeah.
the only way you can tell a cryptography function or a hashing function is safe
Yeah.
is the fact that it has existed for a very long time and nobody crashed it. So that's the only way you can tell.
Yeah.
There's no like magical formulas you can use to tell something is secure or not. So I think the same thing applies for like blockchain and cryptocurrency. So I think Steam is probably the only thing that has been running for a very long time and is still very stable. It's been hard forked 19 times, and I think that's a good thing. Like people are like, at least the blockchain team, they're like very hardworking. They're like they're doing new stuff, and so as an application-driven blockchain, so you need to be iterating very fast.
Yes. Yes.
Applications,
And I think another thing that would help a lot of people kind of relax and let like the Steam It Inc. is kind of like the brunt of a lot of stuff because they didn't build out a usability like your mobile app if it was started in the beginning and then they had the development of the blockchain stuff alongside of it. I think we'd be in a totally different space right now. We wouldn't have a 90% user die off essentially. We would be but these development things take a long time because the people that create one solution, they may have overlooked an entire area which they're actually not good at, which is the usability and user experience. So I think that there's like as things develop, more eyes can be on the thing and then filling in the gaps. And I feel like maybe that's what's happened recently, is that all these different entrepreneurs that have a different, maybe skill set and expertise of coming in. That's what I noticed when I came back. At least that's my hopeful vision of what's happening, which I think is happening. I think it is reality, because you're
Yes,
here
yes.
and you're putting your energy into Steam, even though the retention rate is less than 10%. But your app, is more like 30%, would you say?
It's
What
very
is it?
standard. Like people look at social applications, and there are certain numbers that are considered as good, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's usually like a 50% 1 day retention rate,
Yeah.
and something around like 30% monthly retention rate. And
You have Partiko has 30% monthly retention rate right now?
Yeah, we have that.
30%. That is awesome. Like, in
Which is
50,
not surprising at all, because
that's
it's
good.
something we're proud of. So yeah.
That's good. It's a new app. Like, so Steam it like has 10%, and you have 30%. It's kind of like, I'm looking at it from an investor slash time investment. Where am I going to put my energy? Well, I'll put my energy into something that has 30% retention rate rather than 10%. Why would I, so 30% is good. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
For a new
Yeah,
app?
yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
totally agree. So
Yeah.
yeah. So the only thing we're going to do is, we're going to, make it even better. So
Awesome.
cool.
Okay, thank you so much. And if there's stuff that I can do to help you, just let me know, because I'm kind of shifting.
You're already like helping a ton, like literally a ton. I mean, we're so glad you found out about that. Seriously. So